You're on.
Hello folks, HandyMaxx here. I thought I'd tell you about this Treadlestone. You've already seen the other video, most likely, and I wanted to tell you the story of how this thing came about. And to start with, you see what this is just a sewing machine treadle base. It's heavy, it's solid cast iron, and it's got a large diameter pulley for having fast RPMs, and it goes to a small pulley for even faster RPMs. It's a little hard to get started, but you just give the stone a pull and go to pedaling. But this stand here sat around at my place for years, and I knew when I got it that I'd find a use for it someday, but I didn't know when or what. And not long ago, my friend and I found this stone and shaft assembly, and it had a handle on this end, so it was a one-to-one rotation. I don't know how anybody got anything done like that, but they did. And I had to get the shaft for this stone turned at a machine shop. That was really the only expense besides buying these new pillow block bearings. And here in a minute, Beth will come over and do some close-ups, and I can explain what all these pieces and parts are.
I'm getting it, Max. Go right ahead.
Okay. So basically, it was just an idea. It was a conceptualizing process. I had to put these two together and marry them in a way that would work for sharpening knives and hoes and scissors, shovels, just about any edge tool. It's not precision by any means. It's very basic and open structured. There's no safety devices because it's not a high speed rotation. It gets about 50 RPM at working speed, and that's pretty pleasant. You don't burn the metal. There's not even any sparks because it just doesn't have enough RPMs. So you can go slow and not be fearful of damaging whatever you're working on. So to finish explaining how this all works together and how I had to change things, this framework had a lot of still has a lot of mounting holes available, where this is where the drawers would have mounted, you know, for the sewing machine, and it's got the same on the other side. So there's handy holes here and there that I didn't have to drill out, and drilling out cast iron is difficult. This pulley right here that you can see, the shiny one, that's just a hardware store lawnmower deck idler pulley. It's got a bearing inside, and all I did was find a bolt of suitable length, and it lines up with this pulley here. And what that does is it loads this rope with tension and causes it not to slip quite so bad. I'll give a little demo here. Just get it going. Push with your toe and then push with your heel and get it up to speed. It's really not a very high speed operation. These pillow block bearings came from, I ordered them online from the big bearing store, and they came ungreased, which was very lucky for me, because if they'd been greased, it would have taken a while to work that out and get that grease thinned out in the bearing surface area. So what I did was remove these zerks, the grease zerks, and use ballistol, which is a nice fine machine oil. And as you can see, it's quiet, it's smooth, it's still just a wee bit out of round. I did quite a bit of work on that until I was tired of working on it. Then we did the demo for sharpening knives.
May I interrupt just a second?
Sure.
The reason the wobble that you see at the center of the stone looks like a wobble is because the shaft was cast into the stone, literally cast. If Max, if you'll stop it, I'll give him a close-up of that. You can see how it's uneven, and they literally cast the stone to the shaft.
Right. All this is, you can look and see the threads. This is half of a pipe coupling, and they somehow, I don't know how they got it so exact or so close, but they used a potting material, some type of heavy epoxy, and they used a pipe nipple, and they cut a coupling in half and threaded on each end so that when you tighten it, it would grab the shaft, and it worked very well. But they went a step further and they drilled a hole all the way through this workings here. You can see the hole all the way through it, and that had a bolt in it that was not necessary, because this has been together for years and years and years. I have no idea how long. And that black pipe, that steel pipe, has rusted to this shaft, and there's no way to get it off. So I had to take it to a machine shop like that, and they had to turn it with the stone on. It was interesting, but the guy didn't even hesitate. Didn't charge extra either. So really, it's a very, very simple setup, and it didn't cost very much. You know, the bearings were $10 a piece, and these bolts with wing nuts, you know, 50 cents, and the pulley I already had that on hand. This pulley I had on hand, and the rope I had on hand. So I tried a leather belt, but it didn't work out the way I did it, so I went with the rope. And I'm going to turn this so you can see the connection. All I did was cut the rope and burn the ends to melt it. It'll be here any minute now. There it is right there. You can see that shiny slick part. That's just melted nylon, because this is a braided nylon rope, and it's 3/8 of an inch, and it just fits in that groove really nice and travels in that journal. So I've got this in a figure 8 going straight up from the side of this big pulley. It goes straight up onto the back side of this pulley and makes the loop, and then connects to the other side of this pulley. So that gives you the most contact on this upper pulley, because that's where it slips when it slips. It doesn't slip at all here because this pulley is rough cast iron. So that's my only problem. It's not really a problem. This idler does a good job, and it'll work like that until this rope wears out, and then I'll just make a new rope. You know, cost about $1, maybe $2. So it's all very simple and easy to maintain, and it works. As you saw in the other video, it took me about 3 minutes to sharpen that knife and fix the point. So that's really about all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and look for more.
Stepped on the cat. Okay.
Feel free, folks, to go to YouTube. Well, you're already here, so request videos that you'd like for us to put on, because we have a wide base of experience and knowledge. Not saying we're know-it-alls or anything, but we'd like to share what we know. So give us a wish list, and we'll do our best to fill it. Thanks for watching, and this has been HandyMaxx and Beth, and we will see you in the next one.